What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today I'm actually going to answer a few questions, personal questions about hockey and myself. Just a little piece to let you guys know more about me and what I think of the great game of hockey. If I were a highly recruited hockey player, top prospect for college hockey, it would come down to BU and the University of Michigan. I say University of Michigan because the uniforms are just so awesome. Red Baronson's one of the greatest coaches in the history of hockey, and I'd want to be one of the first prospects in the East to go out west and play well and be established. But I would probably play major juniors over college hockey. Part of it is I'm just a pure capitalist. I'd want to make money and I'd not be exploited by the NCAA for their reasoning. And actually, I would not want to play in the Q. The only two Q teams I could see myself playing for the Charlottetown Islanders and the St. John Sea Dogs. Just the whole French thing, speaking a different language, everything messed me up. I'd actually file an injunction to play in either the OHL or the Western League. Either the London Knights in the OHL, Winter Spitfires, or I'm trying to think one of the team, Plymouth, and out west, Portland, Tri-City, Seattle, Spokane. I mean, I'd play wherever, but those would be my teams if I could play in major juniors where I choose to play. My favorite hockey player of all time is Cam Neely, and there is no close second. My favorite non-Bruin of all time is Theo Fleury, with Pavel Bure as a close second. My favorite players in the league are obviously Patrice Bergeron, Milan Lucic for the Boston Bruins. Jerome McGinley was always one of my favorite players, but even before he got to Boston. And then outside the Bruins, I'd say Mila Cavalier, Stamkos, Marty St. Louis, just from living in Tampa half the year like I do, and then Mike Richards, Seth Jones, and Shea Weber for Nashville. Seth Jones is one of my favorite players I've ever played, but definitely, playing with one of my other favorite players definitely elevates him a little bit. But those are my favorite players throughout the league and on the Boston Bruins. But my favorite Bruin is probably Bergeron, Ginla, Lucic, Torrey Krug in that order. My favorite moment as a hockey fan, it's easy to say 2011 Stanley Cup for the Bruins, but actually I would say for a couple minutes anyway, when Zach Parise scored the tie, the gold medal game of the Olympics in 2010. Obviously, a few minutes later, Sidney Crosby deflated the hopes and dreams of the American nation, but that was a really clutch goal from a great American player and a guy that I really admire for how he plays the game, and it's pretty cool to see that. And it's just I watch that all the time. You just kind of forget. You try to block out the golden goal from Iggy to Crosby on Ryan Miller, but I can tell you exactly where I was standing in my house when it happened, and just a really awesome moment in hockey history, I think. But obviously you got overshadowed by Crosby. Got to tip your hat to the gold medalists. This may be the most intriguing question ever asked. It's easy to say the late 80s, early 90s Bruins. Playing with my man Cam Neely, his jersey back there, Borky, Craig Janey, Andy Brickley, just some hockey gods, Andy Moog. One of these things is not like the other with Brick. But I'd have to say the early 1990s Los Angeles Kings. And before I go any further, big shout out to Rosie and the guys on this one. Couldn't be on the 94 Rangers. For one, there was already a Southie guy on it, Brian Noonan, so you can't have two. It's too much of a good thing. And number two, I'm not a New York guy. I'm more the LA, that lifestyle than I am New York, which just made me sound like the biggest asshole ever, but hey, whatever. Just imagine myself as like a Theo Fleury type undersized power forward riding shotgun with Luke Robitaille and Gretz. And I just imagine, maybe I'm the X Factor that gets LA over the hump in the 93 finals, beating Patrick Roy and the Montreal Canadiens. That'd be pretty sweet as a Boston kid. And before oh my God, CJ, you're thinking with that. Whenever I'm shooting pucks in my yard, I always just imagine like Gretzky, CJ's in front, I mean, I think it's human nature, just stuff like that. I mean, even at 22, 21, 20 years old, you still got the inner kid comes out whenever you're shooting pucks or playing street hockey or whatever. And that's just what I imagine myself. If it's wrong to do that, I don't care. The '90s LA Kings, just amazing flow, great unis. The silver and black Oakland Raiders style, Hollywood, Los Angeles, 90210 was in full swing. Charlie Sheen was really crazy, and I can imagine like winning the cup on that team and bringing the cup on Beverly Hills 90210. Be pretty awesome. Anyway, that's on this episode of the Power Play with CJ on the All About Me piece. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.